All right, welcome into Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as a cow guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in. Hopefully you've got us up in the office or the barn or the garage or the shop or wherever. We appreciate it. We love bringing you along on a daily basis with us. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing, because that's going to be your money, and that's really the most important thing here. So let's take a look. Corn has been stuck at this price. We're up 6 cents, right around that 450 level. 449 and 3/4 is last. That's July. We're a penny and a quarter off the high of the day, and we're working on about, I'm going to call it a 7 1/4 cent range. Dees, the new crop, that's up 4 3/4 cents to 467 3/4. A penny off the highs of a 6 cent range. All right, so that's what's happening in corn. That kind of sums it all up, doesn't it? Soybeans, they're up double digits in July, 12.5 cents better there. 11.70 1/4 is last, but we're still about 5.5 cents off the high of the day, and we're working on about a 19-cent range over there, just over. If we move on to say what we've got going on in Nove, the new crop, that's up 4 cents to 11.34 1/4. And again, that's about 4 1/4 cents off the high of the day, and we're working with a 10-cent range exactly. That's soybeans. Let's take a look at wheat. Chicago wheat, that's down 7.5 cents. 5.84 is last, and that's going to be a penny and a quarter off the lows of the day and 11 1/4 cents off the highs. You move out to say, let's go to the March. 5 1/4 cents lower out there to 6.43 3/4. That's a penny off the lows and about 8 3/4 cents off the highs. That's Chicago wheat. From Chicago, we go to Kansas City. That would be the hard red. That's 3 1/4 cents lower there in that July contract. 6.01 3/4 is last, a penny and a half off the low of the day, and we're working on about a 6.5 cent range. Right, that's what's happening in July hard red wheat. Moving out to the March, 4 3/4 cents lower there. 6.43 is last, just a half cent off the low of a, well, we're going to call that a 7 3/4 cent range, right? So a half cent off the low of a 7 3/4 cent range says a lot, doesn't it? Spring wheat in Minneapolis, that's down 4 cents to 6.34 1/2. And again, that's going to be about a penny and 3/4 off of the low of the day, and we're about 6 1/4 cents off the high. Let's move out to Dees. That's down 4.5 cents. 6.61 1/2 is last there, a penny and a quarter off the low as well, and we're working on a 7 3/4 cent range. That's spring wheat in Minneapolis. How about cotton? Well, this one's finally got a little bit of a bounce, 173 points higher. 71.67 is last there. Not too far off the highs by about 28 cents. If you move out to the Dees, or 28 points, sorry. Out to the Dees, 129 points better there to 73.06. And that's 41 points off the high there. Let's bring him in. Everybody knows him. He's a good friend of the show. Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading in Valparaiso, Indiana. Tommy, thanks for being on. All right, what is it? The Dome of Doom, the Ring of Fire. What's causing the rally?
Oversold too. I mean, just looking where we are now. 1 year ago today, we were on our way back up when we had went from those high levels all the way down to 480. We were exploding back up to 580, and my phone was ringing off the hook. It's a little different situation today. Looking over at the Node board, Node beans only up 4. Crop ratings came in 1% less, but that's 1% rating less of a great start. Corn, there's pockets of problems. Our folks listening, watching in Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes could be 11,000 lakes right now because there is water everywhere. So things aren't perfect. But I did talk to clients today. I said, hey, how are you liking this heat? And they like it. As long as the rains keep showing up here or there, it should be, the heat should help get this crop along. A little bit of problem in North Dakota. It's too cold. Highs in the 60s tonight, 68. I personally, Scotty, I'm going to go to a Cubs game because we have tomorrow off, and it's going to be hot, and I'm going to look like the Marshmallow Man, Milton. Remember in Ghostbusters when the Marshmallow Man was up there?
Get a little sun, Tommy. That's good for you. A little vitamin D.
Or whatever that brown stuff is you put on your face. I don't know what you're using, but you look good. In all seriousness, there's something for everyone. The crops are never perfect everywhere. They're not perfect this year. They didn't go in perfect. And even with all that, no beans are only up 4. Dees corn's only up 4. And July is bouncing. We do have, as you probably heard this 5,000 times from every analyst, July options expire Friday. First notice day for July coming next week. Holiday in the middle, that's going to throw us for a loop, but that is the situation. And I feel like personally people are in vacation mode. To me, this feels like a vacation day, getting ready for the vacation day. Back to you, my friend.
It's hard to disagree with you, and that's you're right. A lot of people have talked about that expiry, but still, we'd like to be reminded about it because there's always new viewers every hour, Tommy. All right, stay with us, though. We're going to go away. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk more with Tommy Grisafi. He's with Advanced Trading in Valparaiso, Indiana. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. Let's talk about some livestock, right? Let's take a look at the live cattle. I've got that pulled up for us. Let's see what we've got going on there, and it's pretty much the same as it was the last time we visited. August is down 42 cents to 182.35. And again, that's about 50 cents off the low of the day. We have had about a $1.15 range, not too big. Small range, small change, not a lot going on, folks. Teese is down 37 cents to 187.27. And again, that's about 60 cents off the low of the day there, and there's not a huge range either. So not a lot happening in live cattle. Let's move along. Let's take a look at feeder cattle. Feeders, that August is down $1.22 to 260 spot 10. Still well off the lows, all right? So that's about 77 cents off the lows. And we've had an okay range over there, I suppose, just under $2. Let's move out to the Nove, $1.02 lower there to 262.07. So again, we're kind of in the middle of these ranges. Feeder cattle just laying there about on average $1.12 lower across the board. Moving out to the lean hogs, what's happening with that? Got a July board that's down 97 cents to 94.40. But as you go out the deferreds, maybe even all the way out to Feb, we're up 62 cents out there. So maybe a little bear spreading going on. Feb stands at 76.52, and that's not too far. That's only about, 22 cents off the high of the day. All right, so that's lean hogs. Let's bring it back in. Tommy Grisafi, he's with Advanced Trading in Valparaiso, Indiana. Tommy, thanks for being on the show. All right, what do you got for us? What do you think about these livestock prices?
Well, Scott, you got to be like a ninja to keep up with these markets, I'll tell you. Listen, we got to finish up on wheat real quick because wheat, again, down. And what folks need to remember about wheat is there is a really bullish scenario in the world and what happened with Russia. But markets do funny things, and we are having a harvest here and all across the world. So wheat giving back almost 3/4 of the entire rally. Moving over to hogs, long term, the picture doesn't look good in hogs, and it does not surprise me in the least bit to see cattle down and feeder cattle. They've had a heck of a run. I believe we have a report on Friday, Scotty. We'll keep an eye on that cattle market. Stock market's doing well. I don't see any reason to panic and see a big sell-off in meats, but sometimes markets have a funny sense of humor. Back to you, my friend.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think that we had a comment earlier today, maybe it was on the radio, that as we get closer to this election, the government's going to do all they can not to have any markets really go into turmoil, especially the equity markets. But we didn't have a very good retail sales number from the consumer here today, too. So that's got to be something, if you're trying to sell expensive meat to somebody, that you got to kind of have in the back of your brain, right?
Yeah, I got some good tidbits for the Cow Guy show. I don't want to spoil it, but we're going to be talking bacon, and that's always worth coming back for at 1 o'clock Central.
Well, let's appreciate all you do for the Cow Guy Club and everything that Advanced Trading does. So it's great to have them as a part of that show, and glad to have you on there as well, Tommy. So we're going to go. I just got the wrap, but thanks for being on, Tommy Grisafi.
I miss you, Scotty.
Right, yeah, okay. He's in his mom's basement in Valparaiso, Indiana. How about that?
Love fest, a brother from another mother.
Well,
He's swift and stealth when he breaks through these commodity numbers like a ninja. Really pretty good.
Yeah.